Why everything feels more expensive. Ever notice how your wallet seems to get lighter even when you buy the same things you always do? One year, you're grabbing a quick coffee without thinking twice, and a few years later, the same cup suddenly feels like a special occasion purchase. It's not that you're imagining it. Prices quietly climb, step by step, while your money learns how to do less and less work. Think about everyday life. Maybe you used to fill your grocery cart halfway and feel fine at checkout. Now, with almost the same items, the total flashes on the screen and you catch yourself double checking if the cashier added something extra. Or take subscriptions. That streaming service that once cost less than a pizza now eats into your monthly budget like rent's little cousin. Nothing about the product feels dramatically better, but somehow it costs more. This slow creep is what inflation feels like from the inside. You don't see a big announcement saying, prices are going up today. Instead, it shows up quietly. Smaller cereal boxes, fewer fries in the bag, a new price sticker where the old one used to be. Over time, the same paycheck buys fewer groceries, fewer experiences, fewer choices. And the strangest part? You rarely notice the exact moment it happens. It just becomes the new normal. In this chapter, we're peeling back that feeling, not with complicated charts or textbook language, but by understanding what's really happening when your money buys less each year, and why it keeps happening even when nobody seems to be doing anything wrong. What really drives prices up? It almost feels like there's someone secretly turning a dial behind the scenes, right? One day, your usual lunch costs what it always has, and the next week, it's a couple of dollars more, like the menu quietly aged overnight. It can look random from the outside, but there's usually a story behind every price jump. Sometimes it starts with demand. Picture a small bakery that suddenly goes viral on social media. Overnight, the line stretches around the block. The owner still has one oven, one mixer, and the same number of workers, but now hundreds more people want the same number of pastries. When something becomes harder to get, people are willing to pay more and prices move up. Not because the bakery became greedy, but because demand sprinted ahead while supply walked. Other times, the push comes from the cost of making things. Imagine a factory that builds affordable bikes. If steel prices rise, shipping becomes more expensive, and the company has to pay more to keep experienced workers, those extra costs do not disappear. They get baked into the final price of the bike. From the outside, it just looks like another price hike, but inside the business, it's survival math. And then there's the quiet chain reaction. Workers see groceries and rent going up, so they negotiate higher wages to keep their lives steady. Businesses raise prices to cover those higher wages. People then need more income again. It's not about bad intentions, it's everyone trying to stay afloat in the same rising tide. Add one more layer. When there's a lot more money chasing roughly the same amount of stuff, every dollar stretches a little less. It's like pouring more guests into a party without adding more food. Suddenly, everyone gets smaller slices. When you put all of this together, prices don't rise for a single, simple reason. They climb because of a mix of human behavior, limited resources, unexpected shocks, and the constant tug of war between what things cost to make and what people can afford to pay. Understanding that pattern doesn't magically lower prices, but it makes the whole picture a lot less mysterious. How to outsmart inflation and protect your money. It's a weird feeling when you realize saving alone isn't enough anymore, like you're running on a treadmill while prices keep speeding up. You're moving, you're trying, but the finish line keeps sliding forward. The good news is there are smarter ways to play this game than just stacking cash and hoping for the best. First, think of cash like milk in the fridge. Safe, useful, but it doesn't age well. Money sitting in a basic savings account slowly loses flavor as prices rise. That doesn't mean you shouldn't save. It means you reserve cash for emergencies, short-term plans, and peace of mind. Beyond that, you give your money a job. Investing is simply letting your money work while you sleep. It's not about gambling, it's about owning pieces of things people actually use: companies, real estate funds, and productive assets. Picture two friends. One keeps money under the mattress, the other owns a small slice of hundreds of businesses through a diversified index fund. 10 years go by, prices rise. Which one kept up? Usually, the one whose money was out there building something. But it's not just invest and forget. Track your spending like you'd track calories before summer. Little leaks, subscriptions you forgot, impulse buys that felt harmless quietly drain you. When inflation hits, those leaks become expensive. Tightening them isn't about deprivation, it's choosing what actually matters instead of paying for what you barely notice. Another quiet advantage: build skills. A new certification, learning a software tool, improving communication, these can raise your earning power faster than prices rise. Inflation can attack your wallet, but it struggles against someone who keeps increasing their value. And yes, be intentional with debt. High interest debt is like running uphill with a backpack full of bricks. Clearing it gives you room to breathe and invest sooner. If you borrow, do it with purpose, something that helps you grow, not just something shiny that fades. At the end of the day, inflation isn't a villain hiding in the shadows. It's a reality we learn to navigate. Save wisely, invest consistently, cut the noise, grow your skills, and let time work with you instead of against you. If you stay patient, disciplined, and thoughtful, your money doesn't just survive inflation, it learns how to beat it.